Hi, my name is Jessa, and I practice evolutionary astrology. And I wanted to make this short video to hopefully offer some insight, some support into an astrological transit that we all experience if we reach the ages of 36 to 39. Somewhere in that span of time, the Pluto square happens. And that is when the planet Pluto in the sky makes a square or 90-degree angle aspect to your natal Pluto in your birth chart. And so this is a universal transit. We all experience this sometime between 36 to 39, give or take. And this particular transit is known or could be thought about as the doorway to midlife, this threshold, this rite of passage that we all must go through before we enter into midlife. And it bodes well for us if we take this time in our lives seriously, the potential of this time seriously. And so Pluto informs us on what the potential of this time is. So Pluto, if we think about this planet, its energy, kind of the archetypal field of Pluto, we could think of the archetypes of the shaman, the psychoanalyst, the therapist. There's an intensity there. And my teacher, Stephen Forrest, he likes to give the example with a Pluto transit of the therapist kind of tapping you on the shoulder and saying, it's time to come to my office. We have work to do. And that's really the essence of the Pluto square. It's this time in our lives where we have support, we have so much potential to really tend to any pain or wounding or trauma, anything that has not been processed or integrated yet into our lives, into our psyches, perhaps going back to early life, early childhood, maybe even further back into karmic past lifetimes or ancestral patterns that we've inherited. It's a time to really go within and do our deep inner work. And so it's a great time to enlist a good therapist. And there's so much variety in the realm of therapy. And I always recommend my clients to include the body, so some sort of somatic therapy or modality. So, for example, somatic experiencing is what I have personally engaged in over the last almost 20 years. It's been such an incredible modality for working through traumatic experiences, and just a traumatic experience being any experience that is overwhelming and just simply cannot be integrated in that moment. And so we have to kind of repress or suppress or kind of put it aside or kind of put it deep within, because we don't have the tools or the capacity or the support in that moment to process it. And so the Pluto square is a time to revisit perhaps some of these moments or times in our lives and engage in the process of integrating and ultimately transforming and healing these overwhelming or painful times that are yet unprocessed. So the Pluto square it can be kind of a dark doorway. It can be a very intense time if we engage in this process. But the aim is that we will be reclaiming our energy, our power, our strength, our authenticity through the process of Plutonian transformation and healing. And then we enter into midlife, we walk through that doorway in our empowerment, in our strength, in our authenticity. So that's just a little snippet on just, I mean, this transit it has so much depth and so much richness. It could be unpacked and discussed over the course of half an hour, which is what I'm working on. I'm working on a more in-depth look at the universal transits like the Saturn return, the Pluto square, the Uranian opposition that we go through over the course of a lifetime. I'm putting together a program that I'll be offering online where we'll go in depth into each of those transits or rites of passage or initiation. So if this resonates, please, stay tuned for this full program that will be coming, where you can really deeply immerse in these different life stages and really work with the potential that's there. So thank you so much, and please always feel free to be in touch with questions or thoughts, as I'd love to connect. Thank you.